name is Cody Walker. I'm from Satartia, Mississippi. It's a town of about 80 people in close to the Delta, right outside of Yazoo City. So in 2010, I met these two guys, Steve and Bob. They're really, really sweet guys. We hit it off really well. I was a houseboy at the time, so I'd spent some time with them. I spent a couple months with them. Then I moved back to Mississippi, and from there I moved to Memphis. One day in Memphis, I got this phone call out of the blue from this number I didn't recognize, and it was Steve telling me that they wanted me to be the third person in their relationship. So at the time, it seemed like a really great idea because these were people that I've known for, a year and a half now, 2 years almost. Really sweet, nice guys. They were starting a new company that I'd previously worked with, but it was getting bigger. So I thought it'd be a great idea to start a career with them. They told me I'd have a house, I'd have a work company truck, I'd have all of it. Everything was great. It was literally like being the third person in a relationship. We didn't argue, we didn't fight. Like, they went to work, I went to work, came home, had fun, it was great. And then I started feeling really tired, like all the time, and just didn't understand what was going on. So I thought I was homesick, and I hadn't had an HIV test or an STD test in a while, so I was like, well, why not? New relationship, it's always good to get tested. So I went and got tested and found out I was HIV positive. So when I got back to the house that day, I walked in the door and I lost it. They asked me if everything was okay, and I told them no, that I was that I'd gotten a diagnosis that I was HIV positive. And there was a pause. We didn't speak to each other for about 30, 45 minutes. And then I remember us going out, like one of them, Steve tells me, he's like, let's go outside and talk. So, Steve asked me to go on the patio, and we're sitting out there talking, smoking a cigarette. And he tells me that he thinks it's best if I find another place to go. I had no friends, and no true friends, no family or anything. Like, I'd moved there 3 weeks prior to live there full time. So the only people that I'd known were those that I'd saw at work or at a bar when we went out. That was it. Over a span of a year and a half, between a year and a half, I attempted suicide 3 times. On the 3rd suicide attempt, my friends finally told me that that I was better than this, that I could rise above it, that I couldn't do this to myself nor my family anymore. So that night, I decided to admit myself into a mental rehab for 5 days. But I asked for one thing before I was, the night of, I asked one thing before I was admitted. Could I please just call my mom and post one thing on Facebook? So I posted that I was HIV positive on Facebook. I let the world in, and I told them if they had a question, they could ask me when I got out of rehab. I would not hide behind it. I would not fear from it. I was gonna hit it head on. I find it so amazing to be able to put that out there, because once you put that out there, people can't come at you. It's there. I have nothing to hide. I'm not ashamed of being HIV positive by any means. We all have a story to tell, but it's the way you end that story. HIV, you can live a long, long life, and a long, normal life, whatever normal is, you can live a long one. There's a pill a day, that's it. 1 pill a day. You brush your teeth every day, take your pill. Being HIV positive is not a death sentence. That's the main thing. You will live. And there's days you're probably going to be depressed and upset and angry. But fight hard.